WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 5:30.
Right now at 5:30, a Michigan house party takes a deadly turn with an accidental shooting. Plus, caught on camera, a building collapse just missing people driving nearby. And a daring swim in shark-infested waters to raise awareness. It's all right now in the first 6 minutes. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Let's start that clock. We have a lot of news to cover in the first 6 minutes, and we begin with a 19-year-old Grand Valley State University student dead, shot in the head, and the bullet had come from through the ceiling. It happened during a house party last week Friday in Tallmadge Township in Ottawa County. The sheriff's office says a 20-year-old man was in an upstairs bedroom at the house when he found a gun and fired several shots through the floor, hitting Connor Lauderman in the head below. He was downstairs with others at the party at the time. Police say he died later at a hospital. So far, no arrests have been made, but charges could be filed. Tonight, police are calling this an accident and believe alcohol played a role. Tonight, 2 employees of the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Office are on administrative leave after 7 jail inmates were left alone in a court transport van in the jail garage for about 2 hours. This happened on Monday. By the time they were found, a passenger window had been broken out and the inmates were outside of the van. None of them escaped. Officials say when the inmates were left unattended, staff were responding to an unrelated medical emergency. A former member of the Michigan National Guard is now behind bars, accused of plotting an attack on a military facility in Warren. The FBI arrested 19-year-old Amir Sayed on Tuesday. Officials say the agents moved in when Sayed launched a drone for a last-minute survey of the U.S. Army's Detroit arsenal and that the planned attack was about to happen. Police say he told officials he was acting on behalf of the terror group ISIS. In Texas, officials say they have avoided another attack, this one on a middle school, and they say a student's mom helped him get supplies to commit a mass shooting. The boy's grandmother told police when she dropped him off at school, he told her he was going to be famous. She later found ammunition in his room that he reportedly told her his mom bought for him. There was also evidence of an explosive device. The grandmother contacted police. The mother and the boy are now facing terrorism charges. Well, back here in Michigan, former State House aide David Coker is being charged with embezzlement. The 51-year-old worked as an aide to former Republican State House Speaker Jason Wentworth. The Michigan Attorney General's office says Coker took more than $9 million in grant money from the state for a nonprofit he created. Prosecutors say he then transferred hundreds of thousands of dollars of that money to his own bank account for personal use. Coker says he's going to fight the charges. Staying with court news, the sex trafficking and racketeering trial against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs continues. For a second day now, his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura testified on her claims of abuse and intimidation. The prosecution says Ventura was one of a number of victims of a criminal enterprise Combs ran to coerce people into sex. The defense has maintained that while Combs had violent outbursts at times, he's ultimately not guilty of the charges against him.
You'll see the defense really try to seize on small, specific issues, like, for example, it was Cassie that paid the escorts, or other things that could imply that she was the one that wanted to engage in this type of behavior.
Combs' lawyers argued Ventura was a smart and capable woman who chose to participate in what Combs viewed as consensual encounters. In more legal news from the music world, singer Chris Brown was arrested in the United Kingdom today for an alleged assault at a nightclub in London 2 years ago. The R&B singer is set to kick off a global tour next month, including shows in Manchester and other locations in Britain. He was arrested at his hotel in Manchester. He's accused of attacking a music producer with a bottle. Well, take a look at this. A building overhang collapsed and narrowly missed passing cars on a Miami street on Wednesday. Wow, it was all caught on this surveillance camera. Local media there reports inspectors evacuated a family living in the building just in case another collapse happens. They say there was structural damage to the building before it collapsed. Well, here's some good news tonight for the city of Detroit. The population there continues to grow. Mayor Mike Duggan and other city leaders held a news conference to make that announcement. The U.S. Census data released today shows there are about 6,800 new Detroiters since last year. Detroit is now the 26th largest city in the U.S., passing Portland, Oregon, and just behind Boston. The growth is more than the national average. For decades, Harvard University has assumed it only had a copy of the Magna Carta in its collection. The document was purchased at auction for less than $30. Turns out it's an original, dating back to the year 1300 and issued by King Edward I. The Magna Carta established the principle that the king is subject to law and formed the basis of constitutions around the world. It has many versions. Until now, there were only 6 originals from 1300 and none in the United States. Earlier this month, the Delaware Department of Agriculture got an unusual call from a distribution center in Newcastle County. A shipment of birds, but not just a box, 300 crates with a total of 12,000 birds to be delivered to different states. Tonight, no one seems to know exactly how this mix-up happened, but unfortunately, the birds went 3.5 days without food or water in 130-degree temperatures, and only about 4,000 survived. And we're heading into deep water to end the first 6 minutes of news tonight. Famous endurance swimmer Lewis Pugh is at it again. This time he wants to swim around Martha's Vineyard, where Jaws was filmed 50 years ago. His latest journey started today wearing just swim trunks, a cap and goggles in 47-degree water. The goal is to change public perception around sharks, the now at-risk animals.
These are very, very special animals. I mean, they have survived 5 mass extinctions. They're older than a dinosaur. And so now I look at sharks very, very differently.
We'll urge for more protections for sharks and educate people along the way. It's a 63-mile swim, and he plans to spend about 3 to 4 hours swimming each day for roughly 12 days, Kendall. Normally, he says he does not think about sharks on these swims that he's done, but how can he not now that he's talking about them constantly, and this could be his scariest swim yet.
I'm just going to say, every time I step foot in the ocean, I don't care if the water's up to my ankles, I'm thinking about sharks.
Same. Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't be doing that, but good for him.
Exactly.
And they are beautiful creatures.
Yes.
We do not have beautiful weather. We have it, it's now, but not a little bit later, Kendall.
Yeah, a little bit later it's going to be a lot less ideal. We're talking about the chance for a couple of strong and severe storms to make their way through. We'll have a full breakdown of potential threats right after the break.
All right, and then coming up later here at 5:30, stick around if you like popcorn with a side of screams. You'll want to check out this week's popcorn picks. Our movie reviewer has taken a look at Final Destination Bloodlines, and he says it's not too bad. We'll be right back with that and more.